I live in Moscow, huge city. My second home is in Rostov, also a very large city. And I usually talk of what's going on around me. Where do regular Russians live? Where do well-to-do Russians live? But what about not so well-to-do Russians? Where do they live? Obviously, in villages, just like this one I am at right now. Let's check it out. If you're new here, this is Letters to King. We're living in today's Russia explained by the insider you can trust. Yes, just like this village today is explained. And 5G towers explained. And living in Russian cities explained. Well, you get the idea. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. You're awesome and you rock. It's a holiday, early in the morning. A lot of people are still sleeping. Good time to explore the village, not attracting much attention from the locals. We will start off the main square, the very center of this, I would say, tiny village. Houses here are very old. This village was built right after the end of World War II, so they are 70 years old. This one for sure. This one right here, old Soviet houses built by the state for the peasants. Back in the days, living in the villages like this was not considered very prestigious, and people were trying to get away to the big cities as much as they could. It was difficult though. How do I know? Because my grandpa and grandma told me their experience. They lived in the village and then they moved to a big city, so I know. The roads, well, they look like they were paved, but a long time ago. And they haven't been very well maintained for the past, I don't know, 30 years? 40, perhaps. More old houses. Take a closer look. This is how people in Soviet Union survived in the villages. They had small plots of land in front or behind their houses, just like this one. They planted small gardens and they were growing vegetables. You can see small plot of land in front of literally every old house. People who lived there were ultimate preppers because they needed to grow themselves to survive and not to starve. You see, at times, people try to fix the roads themselves by throwing rocks into the pits. This is very common in Russia. It's called help yourself policy. More old houses. You see this yellow pipe? That's natural gas supply. This village is actually very advanced because it has a supply of natural gas. So all villagers heat their houses cheaply, well, relatively cheaply, with natural gas that comes right into their houses. What a wonderful household. This house is in a rough shape. That house right there is even a rougher shape. It looks like it's fallen apart. This is the local administration. This is where people come to vote. And this is a very advanced village because it has children's playground. Let's take a closer look. I guess this is where the kids play. Wonderful, huh? This is the main square, the historic center of this village. That building right there is a food store, and there's not much else here. Check out that wonderful 5G tower. Present from our Chinese friends. Now we're moving further away from the center to more residential areas of the village. And look at the houses here. Very nice road. I think these villagers should organize safari for four-wheelers and take money. Holy cow. It's actually pretty dangerous for the tires. I have high-performance sports tires on this vehicle and certainly not for these conditions. Alright, some pavements. It's actually a very nice house right there. Look at the mix of this newer and older houses. You can see them side by side. That's pretty amazing. I mean, look at this house. It's modern. It looks like brand new, and it's actually a very nice house. Right next to it, there's a house. I can hardly call it a house, but it's a building that people used to live in, and it's fallen apart. Look, a beautiful house, a large plot of land, and you can see inside there are fruit trees, bunch of fruit trees, nice landscape. I mean, wow. Rough estimation, that house right there, along with land, probably costs around $500,000. And then neighbors, this. Look at this house. The fence and the gates alone cost an arm and a leg. Another great house. And this right across the street from this very nice, beautiful house. This building, the roof caved in. It's so old, not maintained, it's just fallen down. This looks like an older house, but in decent shape. And you can see more old houses way over there. This is a very strange village. It's a mix of poor people and rich people. Actually, some of them very rich, because the houses here are not homogeneous. Some are just falling apart and some are brand new. And I would say I've seen a couple multi-million-dollar houses here. In this village, I mean, check this out. Right here we have wealthy people living. Right there, huge, brand new, excellent, beautiful houses. I'm gonna get closer to them. It's probably a gated community over there. And at the same time, look around where I'm standing. This is a dump. A very strange place. I did not expect to find something like this. I expected it to be a poor community with like poor old houses, and that's it. And all of a sudden I found this, thriving development. What the hell is this? So much land and it's all being wasted. Not used. People who live here, they have no clue what zoning is and what even basic planning is. I was able to find a way inside of this, what once used to be, I think, some kind of warehouse or production facility. If you're finding this video interesting, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any further updates from Mother Russia. Just like this. It looks like more of a warehouse, or perhaps abandoned. I know what this was. The cow shed in the past. Some people's trash. I guess they don't want to pay money to dump it at landfill. More abandoned buildings. Right behind this abandoned old cow shed, there are small new houses. There's like a small tiny development of 8 houses. They look brand new, but they haven't been sold. There also no one lives there. Why would you want to live right next to a fallen apart cow shed? It beats me. Look at those houses right there. Real nice ones. There's an apple garden right there. You know, there's so much trash here on the ground. Check this out. Appears that this area right here was a landfill at some point. But why would you have a landfill right in the middle of a bunch of residential houses? And some of them are very, very nice. Or old trash everywhere. I came here to show you a Russian village, a place where not so successful, not so rich Russians live. But I am so puzzled by this place. This small village actually represents the large country, Russia. There are very poor people living in huts. There are many abandoned buildings that fallen apart. There's so much land and most of it is not being used. And there are some rich people with their rich houses, neighboring with the huts, with a large old landfill right in the middle of everything. This, just like Russia, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's drive around a little bit. This area of the village looks newer. At least there's some kind of planning going on. Let's look at this house. I love it. It's absolutely marvelous. There's a vacant lot right here. This house is a bit older, but decent. I don't like the towers, you know. Nice. Another nice house. I would totally live in a house like this. But look at the road. I mean, I don't understand how these houses are, you know, built on a road like this. It's not pleasure to be driving here at any time. Another vacant lot. Another nice house. Neighboring an older, well, it's not even a house, it's a, yeah, this is an older house. Well, it's still solid, but this is not a house. It's probably some kind of a storage room. Storage building. Got the houses on this side. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now look, There's a house of a prepper. They certainly used this plot. That's a good size area. They have some fruit trees and an older house. That's also a house right there, believe it or not. And it neighbors a little bigger house. That's another home of a prepper. Look. You see that little garden right next to the house? Bunch of fruit trees, and it looks like they plant something. People in the older houses are most likely preppers because they're trying to survive. They're trying to supplement their income as much as possible. And people with large fancy houses, they just have lawns, they plant flowers perhaps, and that's it. We just went to the fancy houses area, and let's take a closer look at the older houses area. Another prepper's place, but this prepper hasn't been prepping for quite some time. Very unkept land. This is sort of a main street. Old 70-year-old house right there. Wow, there's a 2-story building. More small houses. Oh, looks like the newer ones. Now I'll try to get close to those multi-million-dollar houses I saw from afar. Perhaps that's a gated community, but I'll check it out. Imagine this. You have a nice house that costs, I don't know, $300,000-$400,000. You have a brand new Mercedes, and you have to drive this unpaved side street every time to get to your house and to get out. Now, people, please tell me, why do you need two 5G towers right next to each other? There's one, there's another one, and they both look brand new. Brand spanking new. Look, every 5G tower has some kind of a power supply right next to it, a large one too. This village actually has a large food store. It's called Magnet. This village's biggest advantage is a wonderful pine forest. Look at these mature pines. Unbelievable. So nice, quiet, peaceful here. And this is right next door to the village. Why, local people, couldn't you create something you could be proud of? Something with wonderful road, zoned and planned with nice houses. Well, there are nice houses here, but right next to a landfill. Why couldn't you create a thing of beauty so you could enjoy living here? I don't understand. I don't understand. Once again, this village reminds me of the country of Russia. So much potential, so much natural beauty, but we get what we get. Gotta get back to the car. There's a bunch of shops here along the road, but there's no parking. How people plant here. No planning, no zoning whatsoever. It's pretty insane. Another odd neighborhood. Very old, amazingly cheap house, and very stylish, brand new, excellent house. New house is under construction. This is a better part of the village, a better neighborhood. At least it appears to be. There's more common sense here. There's actually a nicer road, nice houses. Looking for that area with very expensive large houses, and I think I should follow the money. I just should follow that Mercedes, and I think that'll bring me to the houses. I don't know if you could see, it's so dusty here. Why would you live in an incredible house, drive an incredible car, but right next to incredible forest, but you'd be living in a cloud of dust? Why? Oh, why? Nice. The Mercedes turned around and it's flying back. Okay. Let's take a look. Turning right. There's no paved road, but at least there's gravel. Built them, but they couldn't sell. And townhouses, no one lives there. If I told you that this is how a regular Russian prepper house or homestead looks like, I probably wouldn't be too far off. Chickens, greenhouse, a little bit of land, garden, and all kinds of stuff piled up. This right here is the outhouse, of course. The greenhouse is actually not too bad. I mean, they're growing something, and it's good. Good. It takes a lot of efforts, by the way. The greenhouse itself looks like the roof is caving in. It's old. Probably people don't have money to fix it up. Something's cooking here because I see huge, huge greenhouses right there. They are industrial style. They certainly are growing something in large quantities here. Well, these are the fancy houses I was looking at from the other side. They are certainly nowhere near being multi-million dollar as I thought they would be. I mean, they're brand new and they kind of okay, but they're typical. I mean, who would want to pay lots of money to buy a brand new house and be surrounded by old huts with caved-in roofs and unpaved road? Well, at least there's gravel here. And, you know, this landfill right next door and there's a bunch of trash everywhere. There's attention, private property, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. This is a construction of a brand new house. Looks like it's been abandoned. Owner probably ran out of money. Imagine this. You buy a house, all right, and you just surround yourself with a fence, and that's it. I personally wouldn't want to live like this. There's probably a plot of land up for sale. There's a house, someone lives there. Nice houses, chalet style. Done at this village. I'm very sad and disappointed. There's so much potential here, but it's not being used. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.